Ready?
I have to, yeah.
Are you ready?
Crack it. Oh, that was crisp.
Yeah.
Welcome to MotoMouths, the podcast for MotoGP, motorsports, and more. I'm your host, Zoe, and happy birthday, Mark Marquez.
I'm your other host, also named Zoe, and yeah, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Happy birthday to my goat, Mark Marquez, who is the ripe old age of 33.
Nobody likes you when you're 33.
Well, also, it's like he's ancient, he's decrepit. How is he standing?
Hashtag old friend senior dog sanctuary.
Yeah.
Also, happy belated birthday to Valentino Rossi.
Yes. It's fun. Every year, people rediscover this, and it does make me laugh.
It does make me laugh and giggle. And happy belated half birthday to me.
Oh my God.
On the 12th.
Also, happy birthday to Hudson Williams.
Happy birthday to Hudson
also
Williams.
An Aquarius.
Crazy. Age of Aquarii.
Aquarii? Aquariuses.
Aquarii for the straight guy.
I was waiting for what was going to come out of your mouth. I knew it was going to be something.
Because it could have been Aquarii for Aquarii, but it didn't work. I was going to
that didn't quite work, yeah.
I was workshopping in my head.
No, and I appreciate that. Internally peer-reviewed even.
Yeah, exactly.
So Zoe, guess what?
What?
We have another test coming up. And no, it's not for AP Gov or anything. I don't know. Sometimes I do have dreams where I'm still in high school.
Did you take AP Gov?
I did. And I got a 5.
Whoa. Way to go.
And I met a Supreme Court justice.
Which one?
Sonia. Oh my God. Obviously.
Queen. We had the option to you could either take AP Gov as a freshman and leap up, or you could take it as a senior, and I chose neither.
Okay. Well, the test coming up is going to happen, and it's happening where? At Burram. That's that. There's really nothing to say. Nothing's happened.
We're in a middling
moment.
Yeah, we're in a lull.
But the fun thing is once we get this test out of the way, then we are firing on all fucking cylinders.
We are 14 days away.
Then we are rocking and rolling.
We are 14 days away from men on track.
Well, there have been men on track.
More men on track. Hey, you know what? We're 14 days away from Christian Daniel Jr. making his Moto3 debut.
Oh my God. I needed to hear that.
See, the horns outside your apartment are celebrating.
They said, wait, we're excited too. Definitely nothing aggressive and hateful happening on the streets of Chicago in traffic.
No.
There are a couple of other things with MotoGP we need to talk about other than our sweet, sweet new athlete, Christian Daniels Jr. And the first is that Dorna has a new name.
Yeah, Dorna has a new name.
Do you want to hear their sexy, hot new name?
Yeah, please enlighten me. What's their sexy, hot new name?
MotoGP SEG.
MotoGP Segs.
MotoGP Sports Entertainment Group.
MotoGP Segs.
Seg. MotoGP Seg.
Segs.
It should actually be MotoGP SEG because then you just keep saying the letters like you're fucking saying the alphabet. Better. Just sounds like we're bastardizing LGBTQ. IA+.
I identify as part of the MotoGP SEG+.
Yeah, are you the S or are you an EG?
I'm the P.
And you're right. And you're right for saying that. I'm the Hepe.
Yeah, I'm the Hepe.
So yes, the company who has the commercial rights of the MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, and World Superbike, and I think also now the Harley World Baggers series, which is a series of oxymorons one after the other.
The say that again?
Basically, it's Harley motorcycles.
Yeah, Harley Davidson.
Yeah, where they have all of the luggage things on them.
Oh yeah, saddlebags.
Yeah, so they're baggers and you race them. That is now a thing that they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rapper formerly known as the notorious Dorna
is now MotoGP SCG.
Why?
I don't really know. It's supposed to kind of signify this whole shift with Liberty and kind of moving into this like more global, open for business kind of impression.
Open for business?
What I find deeply funny about this is that Dorna, only in Spain and like surrounding regions, was a very established company. MotoGP is one series of like 5 or 6 that Dorna and the FIM have managed. So I do think it's deeply funny that they're just putting all their eggs in the MotoGP basket as the series that they're going forward with to market.
Which makes sense.
Right. But that's not how you do things long term.
No.
When you also have all these other products to market. If I were a world superbike racer, I would find this very funny.
It's silly.
It's silly. What also is interesting is that...
Did they get a new logo? Because their logo was fuck-ass ugly.
No, well, that happened last year. And that's a great point, actually, because we are now... I think we're just over halfway to a year of the actual like acquisition being completed. And one of the very first things that they did, maybe like a full year ago, was the full MotoGP rebrand, which kind of sucked.
I remember that, but like Dorna, you can't, whatever. I can't get into the intricacies and the crap that they put on the shit that passes for a logo these days.
Well, moving on, I want to talk about Casey Stoner.
The People's Princess?
The People's Princess, Casey Stoner.
Tell me about Casey Stoner. What's up with our princess?
I feel like every hour on the hour, and by hour, I mean maybe every other quarter, Casey Stoner pops up his little head out of nowhere and just says some out-of-pocket crazy shit.
Love it.
And everyone's like, oh my God, Casey Stoner. It rocks every time.
You know what he is? He's Waldorf and Settler from the Muppets.
Oh my God, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So 2 kind of things that have come up with Casey Stoner this week. One, he basically was like, yeah, I've been really like going through it the last year.
Everybody.
Guess what?
Can I have your attention, please? I have been going through it. Thank you.
Do you want to hear the list of his injuries or issues?
Yeah. What's his issue? What's his damage?
We've known for a long time he has some chronic fatigue issues. So still rocking with that. He did, and then kind of quickly listed these off. I think he had a virus. Then he had some carpal tunnel flare-ups. And then he got arm pump at Valentino's ranch. And he just was like, yeah, that was rough.
What this tells me, this is like, he doesn't do anything. He only pops up like every 6 months. But last year, he was at a bunch of different places, a lot. And the world smote him. He was struck down.
Well, he was talking about the arm pump, and he was like, well, yeah, I like at Valentino's ranch, like I couldn't really go like more than 5 or 6 turns before my arms were just like blowing up. I was like, I don't really think that's good. I think that's bad, actually. But I'm also confused as why he's even talking about this. Like, did he just come out to be like, I actually have to unburden myself? And how does that logistically even work? Do you think he calls up a reporter that he's buddies with and is like, I want to say something on the record, and actually it's my medical records?
He's the girl that was missing from school for 3 weeks, and so the mom has to come in and be like, don't worry, she just has mono. She's not dead.
Truly, the way these articles come out, they're like, Casey Stoner, like, recently said. And it's like, but what does that mean?
It means he texted somebody and was like, hey, don't quote me directly, but you can hear from an inside source.
No, these are all direct quotes. These are all direct quotes.
And he didn't like tweet it. He just went to the press.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just think that's iconic behavior.
This is what I mean.
Like, and that's just diva behavior.
Exclusive, Casey Stoner, and then like a cut quote. I mean, it's like, is it exclusive? We get it like clockwork. Okay, the second thing that Casey Stoner said that I think is really funny.
More. There's more.
Yes.
Okay.
Casey Stoner doesn't pop up, say one weird thing. He pops up and says like 2 to 6.
Got it. Got it. That's my bad.
This is a direct quote. Talking about Mark, obviously.
Obviously. What else would you talk about besides his injuries?
Quote, Mark did have a big weakness in the past that I don't think anybody's noticed, and I still won't say anything about it.
Go on, girl. Give us nothing.
I love him.
He said, I know something you don't, and I'm not telling.
He's like that, the opening to, what is it, like Pretty Little Liars? Where it's
yeah.
like, three can keep a secret if two of them are dead. Shh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Oh, I love him so much.
There's more.
Oh, good. I really needed this.
He continues saying, it was surprising that nobody was able to exploit it. I suppose because everybody looked at him like a final boss, and instead of figuring out what they needed to do, what they need to improve in themselves, maybe how to race against Mark, they just saw him as this incredibly difficult competitor.
Yeah?
This is my other favorite thing about Casey Stoner, is that without fault, he is always dunking on those kids. He is always
fuck them kids.
Saying fuck them kids.
No, he is Puxatawny Phil. He's coming out of his...
No, he's with that
burrow.
one painting. What's that one painting? Truth coming out of the well to shame mankind.
Yeah.
That's Casey Stoner.
Yeah. Wild. We don't deserve him.
I mean, he's kind of a bitch, but I think that's the point.
That's what we need in this world. Love you, Casey.
I have an update on Furman.
Oh, Furman's femur.
Furman's femur is still doing his thing. Furman is posting femur thirst traps. Have you seen this?
No.
He's posting, like, first of all, I think there is some pseudoscience happening because he's posting photos of him and his femur with his, like, shorts fully rucked up to his, like, inner thigh crease, sitting on a red light mat. And I'm like, that doesn't work. That's pseudoscience.
That can't be. I don't think that shit's real.
Freshly waxed entire leg.
Yeah, of
multiple
course.
times.
Of course.
Thirst trapping with your broken bone.
What a
Mark Marquez original.
Go to Mark Marquez move.
Incredible stuff.
Oh my God. Great.
But the actual update on Furman is that Michele Pirro is going to replace him at the Bro-Ram test and then the season opener.
Great.
And Michele is really hot, so this is great for me.
Great news for us personally.
Yeah. Great news for girls everywhere.
And boys.
I mean, yeah, but we're girls.
That's true.
Oh, I did also think it was funny. Grazzini announced this with like a Severance edit.
They're doing TV shows?
Yeah.
Got it.
It was like, instead of, you know how perseverance is spelled like severance?
Yeah.
That's what it's, perseverance. And then it's Furman's head, like the thing from the poster.
Let's just real quick rattle off some TV shows that we would like to see them as.
Well, they have to do industry because that's big. Heated rivalry.
Obviously,
I feel like they have a really
rivalry.
short window to do it at the beginning of the season.
They gotta get it done.
Love is Blind, I think, could be up there.
Oh, yeah.
This summer, Love Island.
Love Island for sure. Probably when they go to Phillip Island, they'll do Love Island.
Oh, you're so right. Emily in Paris when they go to Le Mans.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do America's Sweethearts. Fingers crossed for Coda.
Yeah. Or like Landman, you know, like oil country shit.
Yeah. Is there any other television shows on TV? I don't know.
Maybe Game of Thrones when they go to Silverstone. Because like
Game of Stones.
Well, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is on right now.
All right. Anything else?
I want to chat a little bit about contract commentary.
It's contract time.
Contract commentary.
So on the Paddock Pass podcast, also a great podcast, they had as a guest this week the journalist who broke the story about Fabio Quartararo and Honda. And super interesting conversation as someone who is not a journalist. So they kind of were like, hey, like, do you ever get scared that you got it wrong? Which is a really fun question to start out of the gate, in my opinion, because Fabio basically never said any of this is false.
Listen, you can't get it more wrong than I think the Associated Press and Gabby Giffords.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So for the non-Americans in the room, the Associated Press, I'm pretty sure it was the AP.
It was NPR too. I think it was a couple of people.
Sitting U.S. Congresswoman Gabby Giffords in 2012 was tragically shot at a like supporter meet and greet kind of thing. And press reported that she had died. And she is still kicking.
And she was actively in surgery when they reported that.
Yeah. And she like made a very strong, not full, but a very impressive recovery and is still like doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty hilarious that they did that.
Well, and it's interesting because just like the things he was talking about, he was like, yeah, like I told Yamaha, this is the story I was going with. And I had a meeting with them. So take with that what you will.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
And he also said something where he was like, there's a saying of, I only jump if I know that there's water. And he kind of was also like, from a common sense perspective, it's not surprising that Fabio's leaving Yamaha. We knew this was coming for years.
Also, there's only so many places he could go.
Right.
It's really a process of elimination.
It's not that complicated. But it was just, I really liked listening to him speak. One thing, though, that he did say really did throw me for a loop, and I want to talk about it. His main story is about, obviously, Fabio Quartararo. In all of this, Pedro Acosta has come up multiple times. He is like kind of hand in hand. The top three in the contract conversations this year are Mark, Fabio, and Pedro. Mark is pretty much locked in. Fabio is moving around. We don't really know. And Pedro's really set his sights on Ducati. Generally, the reporting is saying Pedro's going to be on a Ducati in 27, most likely factory. What this guy said is that they had nailed Pedro's contract down before they ever got the chance to nail Mark's down. With the perspective that they said they wanted to go after Mark. Mark is their biggest focus, but they wanted to have the second seat locked up and ready to go.
So Pecco's been out.
That's the
Damn.
Which again, so glad you brought up Pecco, because everything that they've been saying about Pecco is they're like, well, we want to wait on the second seat confirmation.
Yeesh.
Until later this summer. All of this to say, I love an evil team.
I remember maybe it was like sometime over the summer when Alex was like starting to win a lot. Not win, but getting really strong. And Pecco was
not
immersed in the depths of hell. Mm-hmm. I said, is there a world in which Alex and Mark are on Ducati together? You were like, Pecco's never leaving Ducati.
Well, I don't think Pecco would ever want to.
No.
I stand by that.
Because you said he is their like golden boy, most recent champion, et cetera, et cetera. And you were right. It's just crazy how fast the night changes.
Well, and how shiny other things look.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, because
the grass is always greener.
Listen, I understand that I'm coming from a very like uncharitable perspective on this one. And I also understand that I'm not in the sport. But I'm like, Pedro Acosta's not given me anything in the last 2 years to make me believe that he is the game changer for a manufacturer.
But he's also been on a KTM.
Yeah, but you look at what Maverick was able to do on that KTM last year.
Yeah, I guess.
And even Eneo, when like the stars fucking aligned. That's what I'm saying, where it's like, and it's all of these other things where it's like, we know he's fast. He chews up his tires like a motherfucker. Like he cannot manage.
He has an oral fixation.
I'm unconvinced that he is guiding the direction of that bike, because how many times has KTM said Maverick saved us? I don't think he's a team player, which like is in the grand list of things you need as an athlete, like in the sport, that's very low.
He's not Italian.
I don't think he has the level of racecraft, which, yeah, that can be learned, but some of it's innate. And so I'm not convinced. But who the fuck am I to know?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Me's to say on our podcast.
Exactly.
So we'll see. I don't know. And that's that on Contract Commentary. Thanks for listening. That's kind of it with MotoGP.
Yeah, we're going to Buriram.
And we'll see you there.
We'll see you there. All right, I guess that brings us to the Great Wide World of Motorsport. Starting grid drama llamas is the bullet that you have written.
Yeah.
Would you like to explain?
Have you seen what's been going on?
Not really. I'm going to be honest. I was in Arizona, and then I was in pottery class, and then I was sick. So I've kind of been...
You've been busy.
On all levels except physical, I'm still in Arizona.
Oh, God. Get out.
I know.
Girl, get out. Basically, so, we've had some F1 testing.
I've seen some things, but not everything. I did see a video of What's His Doodle from F1 commentary being like, the Ferraris have a shorter rev time, and then the Ferrari revving for, I think, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that playing into anything you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the crux of the issue. So this thing kind of started with testing at the end of one of the sessions. All the drivers lined up on the grid to do like a practice start. The first one was aborted, so they did an extra lap just to reset.
Abort that thing. The second time, out of 7 cars that were on the grid, only 3 of them got going. Oh my God.
Oscar Piastri didn't get going straight away in the McLaren. Franco Colapinto was kind of all over the place, ended up in the grass. I think the Audi was an issue. The Ferrari had an issue. It was crazy. And so McLaren basically has said like, hey, parts of the regulations essentially haven't been pressure tested. And one of them is what we're seeing this issue with the practice starts. So McLaren has now been on their high horse about it. And I'm not inherently saying they're wrong to be there. I think it's a fine flag. It's a fine concern. And they're pushing to change the start regs and just the general procedures to give teams more time to do their start procedures before an actual race starts. They're citing safety issues because obviously it is a huge fucking issue if 6 of the first 9 cars
don't get going.
And then they get hit. Like, this is how people, in MotoGP, we've seen this. This is how people die.
No, it's very, very, I would say that's the most dangerous part of the race.
Huge fucking problem. So the engine revving is what happens. Essentially, like a lot of the cars need to rev their engines for much longer than previously given to them to make sure that they can then race.
The Ferrari was short?
Well, so I think that's part of the test. Like, here's the thing. McLaren is loudly like, hey, we need to change this. And Fred Vasseur said, no, we don't.
Oh my God.
Because guess what? Fred Vasseur told them all about this a year ago.
Well,
and everyone said, don't worry about it.
Ay.
And Fred Vasseur said, now that we've done this, we know what the issue is. We're going to fix it. We're set. We're fine.
Okay.
So I'm not voting to change that because I told you all about this a year ago and we are prepped and ready. And if you're not, you can start from the pit lane. Because rules are rules.
I think that this is a mighty high horse to be coming in on, Mr. Vasseur.
I don't.
Listen, I just think that maybe considering that we're at the beginning of a new regulation cycle and there's going to be a lot of stuff like this happening. Like it's not the only thing that's going to need adjustments and tweaking, and there might be some other stuff that's not working, whatever. I just think that this is maybe the time to be forming alliances.
Okay, Laurent Mekies, get out of here. Get out of here.
No, because Ferrari's going to fuck up something else.
Well, duh.
Right? And then they're going to be like, wait, guys, we should really change this. And they're like,
Ferrari never asks for help. That's the thing.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. I kind of love this. If I'm being totally honest.
It is evil.
No, I think this is righteous. This is righteous. Fred said a year ago.
Okay, you're being very Catholic about this.
It's Ferrari. What else am I supposed to be?
I don't know.
Fred said a year ago, this is going to be a fucking problem. We should change the procedures.
Change your procedures.
Every other manufacturer was like, you're too uppity. Stop it. And he said, great. All right. I see your point about new reg cycle. We're going to have a learning curve. Things will have to change in the next year or so. Like, we're going to figure out how things work and how they don't work. That's fine.
But no, you're right. I think it will be funnier if they all go down swinging at each other.
I want that all the time, always.
Exactly. I think I am on your side now. I've been talked out of it.
Thank you. You were, for a brief moment, flirting with the idea of equity and fairness. You forgot that this is F1.
So true.
Those don't exist here.
Right.
Especially not in a sport where cars were invented in 1997 for Max Verstappen to race and win in them.
Speaking of Max Verstappen.
Please.
Max made some comments.
Yes, he sure did.
As he is wont to do.
Yeah. If there's one thing about Max is that he do be opening his mouth.
He loves to make some comments.
Do you want to hear some of the comments he made?
If you could read those back for me, that would be great.
Okay. When asked for his thoughts on the 2026 cars, he told reporters in Bahrain, quote, not a lot of fun. I would say the right word is management. As a driver, it doesn't feel like Formula One. It feels like Formula E on steroids.
He's so bitchy. And right.
And right. Critical context. He said, the rules are the same for everyone, so you have to deal with that. And that's not my problem because I'm all for that. Equal chances, I don't mind that. As a driver, I enjoy driving flat out. And at the moment, you can't drive like that. There's a lot going on. He then continues like a little later and says, driving wise, it's not so fun. Lewis Hamilton also called the regulations ridiculously complex and, quote, slower than GP2, which is F2. And then guess who else had some really entertaining comments? Fernando Alonso.
Yeah. What did he say?
He's mentioned, and this is like the axis of evils, right? Truly terrifying team up happening. Fernando Alonso basically has also said, yeah, this shit sucks. The driver doesn't matter anymore. And then he dropped a bar saying, our team chef could probably drive this car.
Damn.
I was like, Fernando.
Damn. He's wily.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Casey Stoner.
This is some Casey Stoner shit.
Get Casey Stoner in on this.
No, don't. He'd get like an aneurysm.
Yeah, no. He's going to get chicken pox.
Someone make a new polio vaccine for him because he'd get it.
Tuberculosis.
Everything is TB.
Everything is tuberculosis.
I love that the three psycho, terrifying, decorated drivers on the grid are like, hey, this shit's fucked.
Which, if I'm going to listen to anyone,
right,
it's going to be one of those three.
I agree. And I think it was Alex Albon, maybe, who said that everything Max has been saying is a general consensus from most of the grid.
Except,
that's why I said most.
Can I talk about another quote that was said in response to Max Verstappen's comments?
Please do.
I'm going to read it, and I'll let you guess who said it.
Okay.
So yeah, if Max wants to retire, he can retire. Formula One changes all the time. Sometimes it's a bit better to drive. Sometimes it's not as good to drive. We get paid a stupid amount of money to drive, so you can't really complain at the end of the day. Any driver can go and find something else to do. It's not like he has to be here or any driver has to be here. Who do you think said that?
I think I know who said that.
Who said it?
Lando Norris.
Mr. Mental Health himself.
Mr. Mental Health himself
said, what are you complaining about?
So here's the crazy thing.
Right.
Lando Norris talking about the sport he has spent his life on is me talking about my 9 to 5.
Right.
And I can talk about that way because it's my job and I don't really care about it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So does Lando not really care about it at the end of the day?
That's an excellent point you bring up. Also, I find it very interesting that the three most decorated people on the grid have said that the driver no longer makes the difference. And Lando Norris is suddenly hunky-dory with everything.
Most recent WDC.
So
your peers are saying you're stupid.
Your peers are saying you can't drive. Your peers are saying the chef would do better than you in the car.
No, the peers are saying you're doing as well as the chef would.
Damning.
And I think it's really annoying. I try not to get bogged. Yes. I try not to get bogged down in the bullshit that happens online, but like we do be online.
We do be bogged.
And it is really insane how I'm seeing not just like hardcore Lando fans, but people across the sport fandom agree with Lando's take on this.
Yeah.
And I understand, and this is why he said it. Like, this is why he talked about how much they get paid, because he knew exactly what that would do. Because, yeah, at face value, hearing Max, who is one of the most well-paid
athletes on planet Earth
in the sport, let alone motorsport in general,
let alone all of sport,
right, complain about the way the sport is growing and changing. And then you compare that to people who actually have quote unquote real problems, which is what Lando's doing by saying that. Yeah, it's stupid. And I think that's what perspective is all about. Obviously, no one is equating.
They're not working in the mines.
Right. Like F1 is not in the trenches in the Ukraine. As we've been discussing during this Olympic season, that people are actively being impacted by every single day. However, when you're part of an institution, when you're part of a sport, when you're part of a community, you sign a social contract in addition to often a employment contract,
right?
That you are part of something. And then to actively be part of something is then to co-sign it. And if you want to co-sign it, and you don't like what they're doing, this community that you love, this job you love, this sport you love, your job is to change it, is to make an impact, is to speak your mind about this thing that you love.
I think that this comes down to a fundamental issue that has grown over the past 20 years or so, where people think across industries that criticism is fundamentally against something. Whereas
in most cases, I think criticism is proof that you love something enough to want it to be better.
the purest form of love can be criticism. Like, you look at the downfall of like the criticism industry, criticism reporters, people who critique art, movies, music, film. These are people who love art, movies, music, film, and do know what they're talking about. And over the past 10, 15 years, they have been getting progressively dog shit on by artists saying, well, what do they know? What do they know? What do they know? And it infuriates me to no end because they do know. They love it. They're participating in the art.
And the thing about Max is that no one could ever say that Max isn't a student of the sport.
To love something is to want it to be better.
Yes.
Period, point blank.
And Max, the other thing about Max too is that he is the face of the sport and has been for quite a few years now. So is Lewis Hamilton. So is Fernando Alonso. They all know what that job is and what that responsibility entails. And they know the power of the things that they can say in a variety of different ways. Lewis Hamilton, only black man who's ever raced in F1. He knows the power of what he has to say and the impact he can have. So does Max. So does Fernando. Remember when Fernando said that Spanish people were being persecuted?
That F1 was being racist against Spanish people? Yeah, I do. I do remember that.
They're not perfect. But Fernando knows that when he opens his mouth, people listen to him.
Yeah, they should, for good reason.
They'll call him stupid if he's stupid, but they'll listen.
I just think that at the end of the day, apathy, which is what Lando is saying, Lando is apathetic towards the direction of F1. He says so in the quote. He says, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. You just got to go with it. Apathy
It's insidious.
It's insidious and it's actively detrimental. It just pisses me off.
I just don't understand, because Lando is a fascinating creature in many ways. And this is one of them, because I've said this before, he wants to be here.
Yeah.
You don't spend minimum
20 years of your life.
20 years working for something, working hard for something, to then turn around and be apathetic about it. I'm not sure I believe that he's apathetic.
No, I think that he is comfortable. I think that he is comfortable with where McLaren is. I think that he's comfortable, certainly, with where he is. And he couldn't give a damn whether or not it changes because it's working out pretty well for him right now. McLaren looks good in testing.
I agree.
And comfort is insidious. Comfort can make anyone complacent, apathetic. It does things to people. That's why you get bureaucracy. That's how you get,
Fascism,
corruption, all of these kinds of things is people get comfortable. People don't like change. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah.
And that's a fundamentally human thing. But the thing is that to be human is to change, and to participate in things is to change it. So shut the fuck up.
I think the other thing that frustrates me is that the immediate, visceral nature of the way people are talking about Max right now, which is very much sit down and shut up. And it's coming from people who haven't been Lando fans. And it's really genuinely shocking to me.
You know what I think it is? I think it's reactionary. I really do. I think Lando represents on a larger socio-political level, he represents a reactionary rebuke of progress that's manifesting in a lot of different ways. But I think it's very apt to look at 8 years of the Obama administration. Not that everything in the world revolves around America, but it kind of does. Sorry. You look at 8 years of the Obama administration, incredible progressivism, change, incredible expansion of rights, fundamental freedoms, and this hard swing back to the right with Trumpism. I think that you kind of get that whenever there is a swath of things staying the same. Max and Red Bull won for 4 years straight.
Oh, so you're making the analogy that this is the swing.
This is the hard swing back. And I think that people are kind of where they were when they were why don't we give the guy a chance? There was a lot of that when Trump was first elected. Why don't we give the guy a chance? I think we're kind of seeing that. Like, Max, you had your turn. Why don't we give the guy a chance? Why don't we let this new era Formula One kind of play out and see what's going on? When everybody's screaming, no, this is bad. This is not the way the sport should be going. This is not going to be good for the sport. And in hindsight, they were right.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Because I do think it comes back to this idea of like, Max, you've had your time, now sit down and be quiet. And it's funny to me because I'm interested to see how it goes, because it's like, so what happened when you guys liked how Conti and honest and transparent Max is? What happened? Quickly.
I thought you guys liked Fernando Alonso. I thought he was your rookie of the year.
I thought we all loved Lewis Hamilton. I don't think Max is being treated like a joke in journalist spaces. This is what is interesting about it.
No.
I think they genuinely are listening to him and interested in what he has to say. But it's a fan space that I'm so like, where did this come from?
Because they have to go on something that isn't just vibes.
Right.
They need evidence. They need quotes. They need facts. Like, that's what's required.
Lando just is saying things are fine, don't worry about it. And journalists in this industry want to talk about data. They want to talk about what's happening.
And maybe that's why F1 fans are on his side, because
they don't care about that.
I think it's because there's so much other shit going on in the world. They don't want to think about F1 particularly going in the wrong direction. So if Lando's saying it's fine, then yeah, let's make it be fine. Like, let's have this one thing not be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but F1's always been a dumpster fire.
But they don't know that because they just became fans.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. I'm prepared to be upset more, probably.
Speaking of that disgusting orange team, Mark Webber and Oscar Piastri.
Oh yeah, breakup of the century. Well, not really.
This is crazy.
I love what this says, though.
I love it and I don't. So Oscar Piastri made the announcement that Mark Webber will be stepping back from the majority of the day-to-day management, trackside management, all that kind of stuff as Oscar Piastri's manager, and will solely be focusing on like press ventures and like brand deals. And he's getting a new day-to-day manager who is a former engineer, or
it's an engineer that he worked with at Prema,
right. So,
and the engineer is going to be his
like day-to-day trackside
support.
There are a couple murmurings. McLaren might have said something needs to change with your management. That's kind of being gossiped about.
I feel like my guess is it's mostly coming from Oscar.
I
and
agree.
It's probably a nice cover that McLaren doesn't want Mark Webber in their business. I think these things are happening at the same time.
I think Oscar saw people making second driver jokes and was like, no, I can't let this happen. Like, this is that dog.
Well, also, and he's talked about this where he has basically said like he had some issues managing the car itself and some of the updates and just like tactical, physical things. And so I imagine that's partly why he's bringing an engineer in to be there day to day. But what does that say about his trust in his
team
race engineer? That's what's really...
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. That's crazy.
Because imagine Max being like, GP, love you. Here's my guy. Here's my other engineer. Could you imagine?
No, that's fucking crazy.
That's what's interesting.
What was discussed when they went out for ice cream in Abu Dhabi?
I want to know so bad.
Remember when they went out for ice cream in Abu Dhabi?
I do remember that. I've said, and I stand by it, I don't believe that there was sabotage happening in McLaren. I just don't really think that's true. I think there's prioritization. But bringing in your own out-of-house engineer.
I don't think there wasn't not sabotage.
Right. Sabotage wasn't not happening.
Right.
But it's not a great look that Oscar, after the season he just had, was like, I need an engineer not connected to you guys. So we'll see. I'm always very pro athletes bringing in their people. That's a me thing. I always think that's great.
Okay, quick hits. Barcelona and Spa are rotating for the next 6 years.
Lame.
Fucking kill us.
It's so annoying.
Madrid starts this year. I would rather die.
As the new Spanish GP, heinous. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about it.
But they're bringing Portimao back, aren't they?
They're talking about it, but that's Portugal.
It's somewhere on the Iberian Peninsula. That brings us to the grid as ... which for the uninitiated is a moment in our podcast where we categorize a handful of riders and drivers who across the great wide world of motorsport as a person, place, thing, concept, idea in honor of the Lunar New Year, which is also today or yesterday. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to do Chinese zodiac signs.
I'm ready.
She's on it. Would you like to go first?
Yeah. Of my two, Pecco's a rat.
Yeah, clearly.
Simple.
Clearly.
He's so rodent shaped.
I've never seen a man more rodent shaped.
Yeah. Except for Matty Healy, who apparently was the visual inspiration of the rat in Flushed Away. Did you know this? Yeah. Matty Healy, frontman of the 1975. His mom knows the guy who made Flushed Away, the animated movie about the rat man and Flushed Away.
Haven't seen it.
Hold on. Hold your horses. Do you see the resemblance?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. That looks a lot like Pecco.
Yeah. And Maddie told this story, by the way. This is not something that someone just imagined. No, Maddie talked about it. Anyways, Pecco's a rat. And then I was the low-hanging fruit of this one is that Mark is the goat. But in the Chinese zodiac, goats are calm and creative, which is not him. So ultimately, I do believe that Mark is a horse, which is apt because we are in the year of the horse.
I agree. For my two, Fernando Alonso is the dragon.
Yeah.
Just straight up. That's not even a joke. Haha, fun. No, he is the dragon. And Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is the monkey. Clever, curious, witty, adaptable, but can be mischievous or unreliable.
Yeah, that's Max.
That's Max to a T.
Generous and diligent. I think that's Valtteri Bottas. He's the pig.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton.
Rabbit.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Rabbit.
Marco
Bezzecchi is the dog.
So true.
Marco Bezzecchi is the dog.
So true. Casey Stoner. Snake.
Can I guess? Oh, I was going to guess that.
Casey Stoner is snake. Snake is wise, intuitive, elegant, mysterious, but secretive.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Wait, what are you?
What am I?
Oh, you're the ox?
No, I'm...
Yes, you are.
Oh, yes, I am.
I'm the rat. Interesting.
Happy Lunar New Year, everybody.
All right, that brings us to the end of the podcast. Make sure to like, share, rate, review, subscribe to engage with, comment on any and all of the above to help grow the podcast. We really appreciate it. And then come hang out with us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. And let's keep chatting soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.